Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, November 8th, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Good to see you all today. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame. You'll see here that price has been in a very clear bullish uptrend. Very bullish uptrend here. It all started down here with the initial rejection. We had a pretty deep pullback, and that led to an outside day up. Very bullish day. And what you see here is a pattern of price pushing higher in a day or two and then going sideways, and then pushing higher a day or two and going sideways, pushing higher a day or two and then going sideways. This market has been very bullish. You also see that the 8-period average continues to provide support. The 8-period average is this average right here, and you can see again ever since it took a bid here, it's been bid on multiple tests. Any push back to it or below it could be a buying opportunity for a continuation. Right now, as long as price remains above 30.50 in the near term, this thing continues to push higher, right? And that's what I continue to mention about this market. Every time I mention a key level to watch for a break, it holds it and continues higher. Watch this level for a break, it holds it and continues higher. Now we have 30.50. Again, if we pull back even as deep as that, it could be a buying opportunity for a continuation higher. This market is very close to reaching that 3100 level. Got within 3 points of that level yesterday with a high of 30.97. For the most part, this market looks poised to take that level out as this market continues to be very bullish overall. Again, all it takes is one significant rejection day to turn the tide, but we have not seen any type of bearish rejection type of behavior thus far. So far, everything has been very bullish. Every pullback, morning pullbacks have been defended, and we've seen new highs and higher lows, mostly day over day. All right, let's take a look at the NQ here. You'll see very similar price action right now. Very bullish trend. You see compression lead to expansion, compression, expansion. Here we are, compression again. Inside day to day. New highs, mostly day over day with higher lows. Very bullish market. Again, the very same thing I just mentioned for the ES can be said for the NQ. The key level here will be about 8100. 8100 is a very important level here. The short-term level can even be a little bit below that, 8150 if you like. Right, the previous highs here, 8140. So anywhere in this zone is going to be very important, because if we pull back, again, given the trend, it could be a big continuation pattern to the upside, but a failure to hold that 81 here would likely rotate this thing down a little deeper. So that's going to be the level to watch. Again, every time I mention a level like that in this market and the ES, this market has been able to stay above that zone and continue higher. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. You'll see with crude oil, we had a turnaround off the 57 zone again. You had price barely take out the previous session's high. I mean, it was a tick or two, 3 ticks maybe, where it took it out and then turned down the rest of the day. And then in overnight trading, the market took the previous session's close offered, and we've been down ever since. We have seen a little bit of a bounce off the 56 zone, not quite into 56 even, but got as low as 56.07 with a lower low failure below the previous week's close and also the previous session's low, but now price is back above it just a hair. This 5-day range very narrow. You can see down here it's 58% of normal range, very compressed. If we get a breakout from it, we could see a move of about 420. $4.20 here as this thing sees perhaps expansion out of this range. Again, I continue to mention that the seasonality for crude oil is very bearish, and so is for the entirety of Q4 for the most part. We saw a bearish streak just ahead of that into the first week of October, and since then we've seen kind of a gradual pullback. But again, this pullback could be an opportunity to sell it higher for a shot at seeing kind of a 5-6 week drop here heading into the end of the year. So again, 58 is going to be very important. If it holds below 58, perhaps we see more of a pullback. Right now, this market has been mostly upside, kind of chopping to the upside a little bit here. Just this quiet chop up. Very nice rounded bottom type of pattern there. And again, if it gets above 58, it opens up that 58 to 62 zone. But 58 has been a very major area of resistance in this chart. We'll see if it continues to hold. So again, narrow 5-day range. We'll be watching for a breakout, which could get us about $4.15, $4.20 of range over the next 5 days. If price stays below 58s here, that could be an opportunity to sell this thing for a seasonal push lower. Okay, lastly, let's take a look now at gold futures. You'll see with gold, it has dipped into the major CLVN here. 1465 has been our major CLVN into about 1460. Today's low, 1457s. And this is going to be important now. Remember, we had an inside value relationship to begin the month here, and price took the previous month's close offered, then took the previous month's midpoint offered, the retest was defended, and now price is testing the previous low. That's really bearish price action here on a near-term basis, but we're up against the long-term trend right now at the LVN. Big time long-term trend has been up August 2018. And so this market has been trending higher ever since that time. So we're up against a long-term trend here, and now we have a short-term downside break, and we're testing the zone. Typically speaking, given the trend of this trend, and given the fact that we're testing that LVN, most of the time, long-term bulls would be looking to reject here for a shot at returning this thing up, and perhaps even finally getting a break to the upside, similar to what happened back here when it finally got the break up and it launched a huge wave of strength. That's what could be building here. But first, bulls need to defend this backside and see if it can bounce back toward these highs. And again, can it lead to a strong finish out of this pattern? So right now, we are seeing this thing test the LVN. I would say again, this is a zone for bulls to look for rejection that could, on the short term, return you back toward the previous month's close price, and perhaps longer term, if it can get through 1525, it could open up a major continuation higher. So right now, watching for signs of rejection. Rejection would occur if price closes above today's midpoint and above today's previous month's low. So if it can close above that zone, that would go a long way towards showing rejection of this level by the end of the day, and perhaps leading to a bounce. So we'll see how that develops here as we head into the rest of the session. Again, happy Friday. Good luck. Trade well. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care and trade well.